So we're going to talk about today why creating checklists and crossing things off your checklist actually do you more harm than good. And that's what we'll dive in today. But more importantly, we'll tell you why that's bad and how you can break free from that and what's better.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of BizMeds. We are your hosts and neuroscience business coaches. My name is Saad.
My name is Darius, and as Saad said, we're here to give you the minimum effective dose for your business. And if you're just joining us, Saad and I help scale businesses. We use the lessons learned in scaling a business from 30 to 60, from 60 to $90 million in under 18 months to bring the real world application of everything we're talking about to you today to help you scale your business faster than you ever thought possible. And with that today is one of the constant areas we see business owners continually flail in is where it is what you called it's a productivity addiction.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're focused on productivity, but it's actually killing your productivity.
Darius, I want to hop in there because I'll be the first to say it is a lot of fun to make those checklists because it feels like you're getting all your thoughts out on a paper, but it's when you have it all laid out. There's also that extra layer of joy when you start cutting them off.
For
right?
sure.
It's a dopamine hit every time you just check it off.
Yeah, there is a neuroscience, there is the neuroscience behind that. And there's the effect that it has on the brain. Like you said, the dopamine, you get it from hitting that checklist because you can use checklists to be very productive.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is when you spend every day kind of creating this checklist and you're more addicted to checking things off your checklist than what the most important things are, and actually prevents you from focusing on the most important things because you get so addicted to that every day.
Yeah.
And that's what's causing a lot of issues today.
Yeah. Yeah. I do agree. I remember a time where I was just doing it for the thrill of cutting it off, on my list.
Mm-hmm.
I was just chasing after the thrill, constantly checking things off, and didn't even know if I was actually adding the value of what I was working towards.
Yeah.
And so I found myself in this this cycle where you're creating the checklist and you have no idea what it's actually going to solve and what you're working.
It just
towards.
feels good because you feel like you've accomplished something.
Yeah.
And that's fine. If you're moving from a time where you're not doing a whole lot or you're making a lot of excuses for yourself, then like you said, we use those type of checklists as a very real way to help kind of remove cognitive load.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So there are times when those type of checklists or brain dumps can be really helpful. But if you just leave it at that and you try to start taking things off it, well, you can get addicted to that and you get stuck in that circle running that playbook over and over and over. And then it can be real disconcerting over a long period of time. You're well, I'm busy. I'm working all these hours. I'm doing all these things, but it never feels like anything gets done.
Exactly.
And that's because you never move past that into what is the most important things to do.
Exactly. And so I want to add some more on the checklist part because I recently went through this and this had nothing to do with work. It was just outside, just a list of the chores I needed to get done. Mm-hmm. Grocery was at the very top. And I went to the store, got a bunch of things, came back, and I just checked off grocery. I'm sweet, it's done. Go into the fridge. None of the things I actually needed were in there because in my mind, I didn't actually prepare the right checklist.
Yeah.
I just said, hey, groceries need to get done. And I want to go do something just for the sake of completing it and then getting it off my clearing out my cognitive load, right?
Yeah. Think of that in a business setting. Oh, meeting. I have to meet with this person. Yeah. Is that the most important thing?
Yeah.
Does that meeting actually have to happen?
Yeah.
How many of those things do we do because we think they're important, but they're not actually, but it feels good to have that and, we got to do this. Or I got to complete this, whatever it is.
What's the purpose of it?
Is it actually moving the business? Yeah. And that's where, when you get so addicted to the productivity, it actually hinders your productivity because you're tactically, yes, you're outputting a lot. That's great, but it's not the right things.
100%. Yeah.
And so, okay, now that we understand that that type of productivity addiction is bad, we want to talk about, okay, what kind of productivity is good?
Right.
And so that's where you want to remove all those, as much as that is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where you probably will run into, becomes the mental game, the mental gymnastics. You will combat and you will come against all of your limiting beliefs. You will come against the things that you realize, oh, I derive so much self-value and self-worth from feeling like I'm accomplishing these things, that it will feel very hard to put away that stuff, because that defines you. It defines how successful you feel. Because at least if nothing else feels like it's going well, I did all these things.
Yeah.
I have something I can tangibly look back at.
Checked it off. Yeah.
Because the converse is, like, when we start peeling these apart, it's the strategic, it's the high leverage things that you actually have to spend time on, that you haven't been. And the difference with those is that can get very boring very fast.
Yeah.
The feedback loop, the positive feedback accomplishment loop on that is very delayed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. It's not immediate. So you don't feel like you're actually getting the win that you internally are looking for.
Yeah. If you're used to like checking those things off all the time.
Yeah.
Now you have nothing. You feel like, oh, I only did this one thing today and it didn't even all get done.
Yeah. Yeah. And the opposite on that is also true, where like a lot of people find themselves constantly trying to be creative and building all these new cool things that they want to do. And they'll just build like a bunch of things that they're trying to keep themselves busy with and never do any of them.
Yeah.
Right.
They get addicted to just creating all these high strategic things,
exactly,
and never implement anything.
Exactly.
So you get the kind of it's not like one or the other. You get a whole gradation of, the whole scale of that happening. It's a really funny thing to see happen.
It's kind of sad too at times.
It is. And I think this is why the work that we do is so important, because it's the holding the mirror up to say, okay, like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
And why do you feel this is so important to you?
Mm-hmm.
Until you start to understand that, you'll continue to repeat that over and over and over. And then one of the reasons we've been able to peel back so much cognitive load for ourselves is because it's a stripping away of all that non-essential, right? It's like, oh, do I have to worry about a logo all the time? No, guess what? I'll fix it later on if I need to. A lot of the things that we feel are really important are not really important. Okay, spend the time on the things that are the most important, that are going to drive you long term.
Yeah. I want to add another layer in there, and it's that we as humans just typically always make the things that we're comfortable doing more important, because we know we're going to be successful at them. Yeah. Right.
That is literally one of the coaching conversations I had this week. It's when you're in that comfort zone, I mean, it is comfortable. So you want to keep doing because it feels good. And when you step out of that into that area of uncomfortable, I mean, we're just our brain especially is primed to protect us from that. And you have to exercise that muscle. You have to exercise the AMCC, anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
So we're not naturally wired to want to challenge ourselves all the time.
Absolutely not. Like, we're not. I mean, some people are. I mean, but I think, because I look at that, I'm an eternal student of human psychology and behavior, and there are some people that do. And typically, I believe, again, I'm not saying this is the gospel. I'm saying what I think what happens is, especially when you look at guys that go into special forces and like really tier 1 operators in the military, and that they've had something happen and they feel like they have to prove something. And so they challenge, like, what's the next thing? But we're not like, and then that is a very small percentage of the population, an extremely small percentage of the population. So they're not representative of everyone. I think if you look at all the things, like, most people are geared to kind of like take the easy route.
Yeah.
And that's where you can really get ahead, is if you can get out of the addiction of doing the productivity thing. When we talk about productivity, it's productivity doing the right things the right way.
Yeah.
and using checklists the right way. We use checklists in flow to help multiply flow state, but we're using those flow states on the most important things. And that's where the power comes in, not getting you away from doing a lot of things that aren't really doing you the right things. Do the right things the right way.
Yep. No, it's perfectly, you said that very well, mostly because whenever we're having these conversations, a lot of times I'm having a little bit of a flashback of like where I kept doing the same thing, thinking I was going to get a different result. And then I'll remind myself, well, actually, you know what? Like I was able to persevere and challenge myself and try something different.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot more results. And then I kept doing the same thing again. Because I was like, okay, this is comfortable. I'm going to keep doing the same thing because I know that I'm going to break through it at some point. And you don't. And then you challenge yourself. And then I always find it funny because we ourselves constantly prove ourselves wrong, but then still do the same thing.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. It is why we have our own mentors and coaches and continue the journey of learning and growing.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because I was really just reading about this earlier. And again, a reminder, we talk about growth mindset all the time, but the reason why growth mindset is so important is because you believe learning is you're capable of learning. You're not shutting off the ability to learn. And that's a really important thing because it allows you to remember you can always be challenged. I'm like, I can't remember where I saw it, but it was this question. It was like, do you know everything? No. What if you knew 99.9% of everything?
You still don't know everything.
In that 0.1%, there's an infinite amount of things you don't know. I was like, that is very valid. So it's a very humbling and thing that, but do we still repeat the same thing? Sometimes it takes us a few kicks at it, and smash your head against the wall a few times to try to get that lesson in. But it's a needed thing. But at the core of it is the eternal wanting to grow and not wanting to, I guess, spend our time being addicted to the productivity thing. Because I say I've lived that, and it was one of the biggest reasons I found flow and start to understand cognitive load and the the feeling of overwhelm and burnout and all those things. It's like that type of stuff like directly correlates with that type of lifestyle. So if you are addicted to the productivity and trying to do all these things, and it's not the most important things, then you will feel overwhelmed. You'll feel burned out. You will feel like nothing you do is working until you learn how to get away from that cycle and learn flow and learn how to manage your cognitive load. Yeah. And you can use, we'll say this again, you can use checklists. We use checklists in the right way. Yeah. But most people use checklists the wrong way. Yes. And it supports their addiction to productivity.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, so going back to the comment about knowing something 99.9%, I recently somebody just used this example with me, and it's like you dash crushing it. What's the missing word there? And the guy's like, you are crushing it. No, it's aren't. You aren't crushing it. So that 0.1%, like you said, is an infinite amount of information that can absolutely change everything about it. Yeah. Right? So the reason why I bring that up is because, again, people think that empty, the word, the missing, the filler, or whatever it is a checklist. If I got a checklist in there, I can start crushing it. It's the wrong checklist. Yeah. You're not paying attention to the right thing.
It's the wrong thing the wrong way.
Exactly. Yeah.
Or it might be part of the right thing the wrong way.
The wrong way. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
And that was that actually brings up another thing. And there's really only, you can solve things 4 ways. Yeah. Right. You can solve the wrong problem the wrong way. You can solve the wrong problem the right way. Yeah. You can solve the right problem the wrong way, or you can solve the right problem the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And with this, and that is really the fundamental, like,
Building block
of what we're doing here. It's helping you understand how to solve the right problem the right way.
Yeah.
And when we talk about the frameworks, we talk about flow. It's the get rid of the addiction to feeling like you're tying your self-worth to how much you get done in the wrong way.
Yeah.
Because you can accomplish so much more the right way, solving the right problem, and then you will absolutely blow the doors off of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's the biggest problem, is that you are spending all this time and energy trying to solve the wrong problem the right way, and you feel like it is, but you're addicted to doing that. And we had to break that addiction and get you into flow using checklists the right way, solving the right problems with leverage and output.
Yeah. Ever since you introduced me to that Eisenhower metric, like, you can slice and dice that in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's funny because, like, anytime you build out like the quadrant, you can, that quadrant turns into the next quadrant of like something else.
Absolutely.
Right. And it's like forever living. And it's become a really nice framework for almost everything I try to do now.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, hold on, which quadrant am I lying into right now? And then solve it, go to the next one. Well, shit, like, where am I right now? So, again, that's another way to utilize to make the right checklist, right? So.
Yeah. All right. I think it's a good place to stop. It wasn't one we need to go too far more, too much deeper in.
Yeah.
Love to hear from you guys what you find maybe you feel you do the right way, or which right problem you're maybe solving the wrong way. Just love to hear in the comments, or what you thought about today's episode.
Yeah.
So
but what I, again, like, going to that, adding to that a little bit more, like, what's your perfect checklist? How do you create your best checklist?
Yeah. Awesome. So with that, everyone, we are BizMeds. My name is Darius.
And I'm Saad.
We're here to give you the minimum effective dose to scale your business faster than you ever thought possible. If you liked, got a laugh, anything, we just ask that you like, share it. Don't be a hoe, share the show, as Andy Frisell said, and I will continue to echo because I think it's great. We don't get paid. We're here to help you as business owners, and we will continue to show up every week to do that. To our mothers, Saad's mom, love you. Thank you for always being a huge fan. Mom, thank you for being a fan as well. Everyone who's been here since the beginning and who just joined us, thank you. We will continue to thank everyone. We appreciate you taking the time with us today. If you haven't signed up for the free masterclass, do that. Burnout to Breakthrough, 57 minutes to reclaim 2 days a week for the rest of your life and reduce cognitive load, and more importantly, gain back your time and energy. So with that, everyone, remember, you're just one day away from the life you've always dreamed about. We're going to see you in the next episode.